Francis Bacon's essay of death is a concise and philosophical meditation on human mortality and the attitudes people adopt towards death. It reflects his characteristic style of blending moral reflection with practical wisdom and classical references. Let's break it down further. First, I would like to introduce the chapter Bacon's essay of death. Bacon opens by asserting that death is not as terrifying as people imagine. He suggests that humans exaggerate their fear of death, and this exaggeration, is shaped more by their imagination than by the reality of death itself. This aligns with the Stoic perspective, which advocates for rational acceptance of inevitable events. The very first line of the chapter of this essay: men fear death as children fear to go in the dark. Bacon uses this comparison to highlight the irrational and instinctive nature of the fear of death. He implies that education and experience should mitigate this fear, just as maturity dispels a child's fear of darkness. Secondly, he talks about death and its representation in art and culture. Bacon observes how the depiction of death in literature, the depiction of death in drama particularly, and in other arts often magnifies its horror. He mentions that poets and dramatists present death in an exaggerated manner to provide emotion, to create dramatic effect, and thereby deepening people's fear of it. However, he dismisses this dramatization as untrue to the actual experience of death. Now, he talks about the experience of death, the experience of dying. The essay briefly touches upon the physical experience of dying, arguing that the pain of death itself is often less than a fear leading up to it. Bacon claims that death is a natural process and compares it to the extinguishing of flames, or a extinguishing of flame of a candle, suggesting it is gentle and not as violent as it is often portrayed in literature, in drama, and other forms of art. Philosophical and religious consolations. Bacon emphasizes the role of philosophy and religion in helping people accept death. Philosophers, through rational thinking, can help dispel the fear of death, while religion provides the ultimate solace by offering hope for an afterlife. It is believed that this is not the final end, we have afterlife also. So, this is a kind of consolation. These tools, he argues, elevate human dignity and prepare individuals to face death with courage. He gives examples of bravery in facing death. To support his argument, Bacon references historical figures and martyrs who faced death with calm, with composure. This serves as evidence that the fear of death can be overcome through reason, can be overcome through faith, or it can be overcome through faith and reason both. Death is a part of life. Bacon concludes by normalizing death as an inevitable part of life. He calls it the great work of nature and suggests that understanding and accepting this reality is key to living a virtuous and fearless life. Now let's discuss the various themes in this essay. The first theme is mortality and human fear. The irrational fear of death and its impact on human behavior is the first theme. Secondly, reason versus emotion. The contrast between rational acceptance of death and the emotional dread it inspires is the second theme. The third theme, the role of religion and philosophy. Their capacity to provide comfort and courage in the face of morality is the third theme. What is the fourth theme? Death is natural. A perspective on death as a natural and gentle process rather than something to be feared is the fourth theme of this essay. Now let's talk about his style in this essay. Bacon's style in the essay of death is aphoristic and packed with meaning. His use of analogies, such as comparing the fear of death to a child's fear of darkness, this makes this essay relatable and impactful. His reference to classical and historical figures lend it intellectual depth. In essence, the essay of death is a timeless exploration of humanity's relationship with mortality, urging readers to confront their fears with reason and with faith. It embodies Bacon's broader goal of providing practical wisdom for living a better life.